Millionaire finds an old woman eating in the rain. When he learns she's his mother, he breaks the rain poured heavily over the city that night, washing the streets clean but drenching those who had nowhere to go. Ethan Cross, a man of immense wealth and power, sat in the back seat of his sleek black car, staring absently out the tinted window. The world outside was a blur of umbrellas, headlights, and hurried footsteps. He was used to seeing people rush. Everyone had somewhere to be. Everyone except him. Ethan had everything most people dreamed of: the penthouse overlooking the skyline, the company everyone envied, and the respect that came with his last name. Yet he was empty. His success had come at a price, the cost of his heart. Somewhere along the line, he'd forgotten what it meant to feel as the car rolled to a stop at a red light. His eyes caught sight of something unusual. On the corner of the street, through the mist and rain, sat an old woman. Her clothes were tattered, soaked from the downpour, and her hands trembled as she picked at something from a plastic container. Leftovers, perhaps thrown away by someone else. She was eating in the rain. Something about the image struck Ethan hard, like a memory pressing against the back of his mind. He couldn't look away. "Stop the car," he ordered suddenly. His driver hesitated. "Sir, this area isn't safe. I said stop." The brakes screeched slightly as the car pulled over. Without another word, Ethan grabbed his umbrella and stepped out into the rain. Each drop felt cold against his skin, a strange contrast to the warmth of his expensive coat. He approached the woman slowly, unsure why his chest felt tight. "Ma'am," he said softly, "you'll get sick sitting out here. Let me get you something warm to eat." The woman didn't look up at first. She was too focused on the small pieces of bread in her hands. When she finally did, Ethan froze. Her eyes, they were tired, sunken, but there was something familiar about them. "I don't need your pity," she said quietly, her voice shaky but proud. "It's not pity," Ethan replied, swallowing hard. "It's kindness." She gave a weak smile. Kindness from a stranger? That's rare these days. Something deep inside him stirred, a feeling he couldn't quite name. He didn't know why, but he couldn't leave her there. "Please come with me. I can help you." The woman shook her head. "You wouldn't understand. I had someone who could have helped me once, but he forgot me." Ethan frowned. "What do you mean?" She sighed, lowering her gaze. "My son. I raised him alone. Worked day and night, so he could study, so he wouldn't end up like me. He promised he'd come back for me when he made something of himself." Her lips trembled, but he never did. Ethan's heart skipped a beat. Her voice cracked with emotion. "I waited for years. I thought maybe he was too busy. But then I saw him on TV. A big man now. A millionaire. Ethan Cross." The world stopped. The sound of the rain faded into silence. Ethan couldn't breathe. His knees weakened, and his umbrella slipped from his grasp, hitting the wet pavement. Did you say?" he whispered. The old woman didn't notice the shock on his face. "He used to have the gentlest eyes. But when I see him now, they look cold. Empty. I wonder if he even remembers the woman who gave him everything she had." Ethan fell to his knees, tears mixing with the rain. "Mom," his voice broke. "It's me. It's Ethan." The woman froze, confusion clouding her eyes. No, it can't be. "It's me, Mom." He grabbed her trembling hands, his voice trembling with guilt. "I'm so sorry. I looked for you, but after we moved, I thought you." He couldn't finish. The truth was, he hadn't tried hard enough. He'd been too busy chasing success, too consumed by ambition. The old woman's hand shook as she touched his face, tracing his tears. "My boy," she whispered, tears welling up in her eyes. "You came back." Ethan's chest heaved as years of regret came crashing down. "I should have come sooner. I left you behind. I thought money could fill the emptiness, but it never did. I'm so sorry." His mother smiled faintly, though her lips quivered. "I don't need your money, Ethan. I just needed you." He wrapped his arms around her, holding her close, feeling her frail frame against his chest. For the first time in years, he felt warmth, the kind no wealth could buy. People around them watched quietly, moved by the sight of a man who had everything but had just found what he'd truly lost. Ethan took her home that night. Not to a shelter, not to a hotel, but to his home. His mansion, once cold and lifeless, now felt alive again. He made sure she was fed, warm and comfortable. For days, he didn't go to the office. He stayed by her side, listening to her stories, laughing at memories he'd forgotten. One evening, as they sat together by the fire, his mother looked at him with tired eyes. "You've changed, Ethan, but I'm glad. The boy I knew is still in there." Ethan smiled softly. "You brought him back, Mom." She reached out and squeezed his hand. "Then promise me something," she whispered. "Use what you have to help others who are forgotten, like I was." He nodded, his throat tightening. "I promise." When his mother passed peacefully in her sleep a few months later, Ethan kept that promise. He started a foundation in her name, the Grace Cross Foundation, dedicated to helping the homeless, the forgotten, the ones left behind. At every event, he'd stand in front of a crowd and tell her story. Not as a millionaire, but as a son who once lost his way and found his heart again. And whenever it rained, Ethan would step outside, close his eyes, and whisper, "I see you, Mom." Because now, he finally understood. True success isn't measured by wealth, but by love and compassion.